something that everyone forgets is like going racing. It does have a purpose.
Been a lot of hype about Whistler over the years. Going to beat Leger on a World Cup race weekend.
The environment of racing is so addictive.
Like, there's no doubt in your mind that she wants to smash those chicks so badly and win. Let's talk about how cooked the young kids are.
At least they didn't know who Rat Boy was.
There's a lot of these young guys that need to watch some Earth movies. We were making Kaya Hearn and the kids watch the videos. It's a history lesson.
For sure. It's like School of Rock, but Gabe is Jack Black and there's no music.
All right, we're here with Gabe and Jim, and this time we've been joined by Mono. Mono, do you want to introduce yourself and just tell us what you do with the team?
I'm Aaron Bartlett. Mono is my nickname. Everyone knows me as Mono. For the team, I do like the media production alongside Jack, who also works with us. And then for the brand, I also do the social media management for the brand as well. So
busy man.
Yeah, very, very busy. Yeah, but it's good. It's good fun.
Good stuff. Gabe, just give us a bit of your view on like how you see the team ethos. Like, what is it you're trying to create here?
Well, something that everyone forgets is like going racing. It does have a purpose. There's a lot of pride in winning and direction, but in the end, the team, the staff, the whole circus, you want to call it, its job is to sell product and sell bikes and raise brand awareness. So you could loop that in there as well. So and I think that having Mono as part of it and as a team, it plays a big vital role in the goal of trying to sell product in the end, and I think a lot of people forget that that's the purpose of having a team is to spend money to make money, right?
Yeah.
It's cool to support the industry. It's cool to support the sport. It's cool to support the development. It's cool to support the athletes. But in the end, there is that.
It's a marketing project. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. Which you're a big part of.
Yeah, but it's become way more important as the years have gone on, right? So like I've been involved since in this circuit since 2008. And back then it was still a marketing project, but it was a lot more like a passion thing for everyone involved, I guess, in that kind of lull, I guess. And now, it's just progressed. The whole sport's progressed. And now it's super, super important what we do on the marketing side. It's basically, why we're here, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it's either with the way that the media side of things has changed and involved, the importance is increased in how the production and what the output is, right? Before you could make one wrap-up video. Let's see.
Is that you on a scooter, Gabe?
No, it's Italian.
That's normally Gabe, isn't it?
I think we call this number one dickhead. Because it's actually...
Who is the number one dickhead?
Because
Sketchy.
It's like we're here and we're quite obviously doing something here and they're fucking revving the scooter directly behind the wall. Maybe we should just call them brain surgeon.
They'll come through this door.
I hope they come through this door too.
Yeah, they'll unzip it.
Okay, no, but like I think that evolving onto it, it's really changed. You could do a wrap up video, and I think that everyone would make these wrap up videos, and they would be dumped into one general pool, and then Pink Bike would post them in like 20 of them in a row. And then I think the biggest thing was when we moved with Mono, however many years ago, to like I said, fuck these wrap up movies. Let's make dailies, right? Let's make dailies because the shelf life had even changed at that, and now the shelf life's even changed further, and it's almost on both ends of the spectrum. You have that really short shelf life, and then I'm talking more into Mono's wheelhouse here, but
yeah, give us some insight, Mono. Like, how do you try and document a race week in a pit with all these guys, and also like get that authentic vibe from them, but not get in the way? Because ultimately, there's a performance focus as well, which is super important.
Yeah, I think you can get in the way at certain times of the week.
Like you do and you shouldn't, or it's okay to?
No, I think it's okay as long as you've got the good relationship in the team and they trust you. And I think some of that content, especially during the early part of the week, like I'm shooting Troy's vlog, so you're in the way for sure. You're involved in that. And then as the week progresses, you get into the more serious part of the week, then you're obviously taking a bit more of a step back. But again, like it's changed, like you said, it's changed over the years what you're producing. And now we're just, a lot of the focus is on getting stuff out as quickly as we can, BTS. And you have it's important to have a mix of lo-fi and that easy phone content. And you have the high production, high quality stuff as well. You need to try and get a good mix of it.
Yeah.
but it's important at a race that we're getting this content out as quickly as we can, showing as much as we can that maybe that you can't see on the broadcast and that kind of thing, and covering that. Also, it's valuable as a brand that we can create our own content as well.
Yeah.
To show what we want to show. So, but yeah, it's just a huge mix. Like, it's just trying to get as much as you can, as good quality as possible, and also like the tools that we're using. Like, obviously, when I started, I was just using a proper video camera, and those video cameras have changed over the years. But now, like, I'm choosing to use a phone in some positions, or like some places where I would have used the camera. Like on track walk, I'll go up with a phone and a GoPro.
Okay.
Because those are the tools that make most sense, or you want that kind of look.
Yeah.
Like with the phone, it obviously gives a more, from a social media perspective, a more real, like relatable sort of look to the content. So it's like you maybe look lazy using the phone up on the hill, but it's actually a conscious decision. Okay. And we have a social media department at Canyon, and we discuss these things and, have meetings and stuff and decide the strategy that we want to do in our content.
I was going to say, how much is like planned ahead of a race week and how much is reactive when you're here? Because the story of a race week always evolves differently every weekend, right? It's never quite the same, but there's also a formula. Like, how much are you planning?
Again, like a mix, I guess. You have some stuff which is planned. Sponsor stuff can be planned. Any stories that you want to, like the stuff with Troy this week, a lot of that stuff has been planned. We put some content out this week about that, which was obviously edited and stuff beforehand. And then we've done a bike build. We've done the presentation sort of video that we did for that. That's all planned beforehand. But then you've just got the stuff which you're just collecting through the week and just firing up. So it's a mix. And again, it depends on the style of content that you want. The planned stuff is often like better quality, and then the other stuff is maybe a bit quicker and you're just firing it up from your phone. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Fair. How do you find it, Jim? Like, you got into this because you like bikes and you enjoy working on bikes, and suddenly you've got a camera in your face and you're like a personality as part of the output from a weekend. Mm-hmm. How have you found that?
I really enjoy it because a lot of my like growing up was in mountain bike media anyway, so it kind of feels like a natural progression really. But it also helps that we're like such good friends as well, because it's just, I don't know, it's just easy. Like, cameras there, we're probably having those conversations anyway. And I think Mono's definitely got that gift of like, when he's there, you kind of don't really like feel his presence almost. Okay. So he can just like hover around you, ask a couple of questions, and it just feels like pretty natural really. Where some people definitely don't have that when they point the camera in your face, but he makes it pretty easy. So
that's cool.
Well, I was looking through this stuff, like old school stuff, when I was looking for Troy clips for the video that we put out this week, and I don't think, it's definitely a learned thing over the years, the experience. Like, I was looking at some of my interviews when I was 18. Oh my God, it was so awkward. I was just watching this footage like, Jesus, did I used to like do interviews like that? It was terrible.
Mm-hmm. And I think we've like naturally ended up just bouncing ideas off each other with, especially like the technical media, haven't we?
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that as well, because it's like, I don't know, I like being creative, and it's fun to share that, and I think it's super interesting as well. So
yeah. What about, I mean, it's all well and good when the race week's going well, but when the race week's not going so well, does that make your job harder? Because you've still got to kind of document it. Maybe people don't want to talk to you. Like, how does that work?
We've kind of taken we don't do so much if a rider doesn't do so well, unless there's like a specific story there that we maybe want to tell. We try not to like make too big of a deal of a bad result, or like something where there's if there's a big crash or something, or if someone gets injured, then of course we want to maybe show that aspect. For example, Marin, when she broke her back, we put a little post of her leaving the pits, and she looked in pretty bad pain, but just to show that, okay, this was a pretty bad crash, and it's worth sort of communicating that on socials. But if someone just has a bad run, then it's kind of, for us, I think it's not worth sort of chucking a camera in their face and putting that out there, because it's not really valuable to the athlete, and it's not really valuable to us. We'd rather sort of focus mainly on the positives, I think, in general. Yeah. We made that decision a couple of years ago, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think as a whole, though, for the entire team, it's the same amount of effort to show up and go through the motions, from pulling the truck in the parking lot to parking it, to building the truck, to doing whether you come first or all your riders get 50th place. It's the same amount of effort. Everyone puts everything into succeeding for the weekend in every aspect, whether it be mono covering and documenting the entire story and planning it and pre-planning and executing, to gym, to going to the top of the hill, to the chefs in the kitchen cooking the food. It's the same amount of effort, the same amount of cost, and it just makes the at the end of the weekend, when you succeed and no one gets injured and everyone leaves, it's such a relief to make it through the weekend, and it makes the weekend and the victory that much sweeter, because you've put that effort into it, that no one's hurt, and the results are great.
Yeah. You've got a number of riders though, right? And their fortunes could be very different across a race week. How do you try and keep the general vibe of the pit high, but also appropriate for someone that may be struggling?
I think that we've been really lucky this year. We've had some ups and downs, but as a whole, as a team, we've been very well balanced. It's been a really great team effort. Some weekends we've had Kiefer on the podium. The following weekend he's not made the final. Troy goes on, and I think that all the riders have supported each other, and I think they're very lucky to have all shared success this year, and they know they're capable of doing it. We touched on it earlier with Aletha and the start of the season, and a message I gave to Aletha was like, we knew she had I knew she had the speed. I knew she was capable of being a champion or a winner. I don't always think that losing is a good thing, or not succeeding is a good thing. But I kept telling her, I go, when you finally win, it's going to taste that much sweeter. And the moment she crossed that line and she won, I'm like, how fucking good does that feel? And she's like, and she's like, yes, because she did go through those battles, and she's like, it feels so damn good. That's when she won. And I think that that's what drives that motivation. And it's not from an athlete only. It's from a mechanic standpoint. It's from even let's get into Mono making a great project. Like that Troy video that he pumped out that week, getting the feedback that it was that good. He can sit there and smile in his head and go, I did a bloody good job at that, right? And those are and that's what it is. I know, and it's the truth.
Yeah.
And no one wants self-praise, and no one's looking for self-praise, but it is something that I think emotionally, when you're in a group of a team environment and dealing with competitive athletes, there's no doubt in your mind, like you take again, I'm gonna use Aletha again, there's no doubt in your mind that she wants to smash those chicks so badly and win. And that's what it comes down to. It's like, there's certain people like that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I went in circle there, but that's the truth. What it comes down to, in my opinion.
It's like what we mentioned earlier, with mine and Luca's process. My process doesn't change whether he gets on the podium or whether he gets 50th, like Gabe said. But yeah,
it does a little bit, because your relationship with Luca at the end of the day will affect his performance on the track and what you do with him. So your process for sure does. To an extent,
not from a technical point of view, I wouldn't say. The process that I have on the bike mechanically, and the same effort goes into the prepreparation, whether he crashes in the first corner or gets on the podium.
And if he's put all that effort in, he's saying that he's put that effort in, he's not going to be like, of course, if he cut corners, hey, cutting corners sometimes doesn't mean that he's going to do better or worse. We see riders that aren't on teams that throw down and end up with killer results, and it happens. And that's riding on the skill and the determination of the athlete. We see it with some of the product they ride with. We see it like that. But, putting them on a team, it gives them that edge where they can essentially probably switch off on a lot of their other stuff that they don't have to think about, which should elevate their performance, right?
Yeah, I think it's important as a team, everyone pulls in the same way and everyone gets on and everyone has that vibe. It's cliched or whatever, I'm sure everyone says it, but having the right people in the team definitely positively impacts performance. So
how do you balance that? Because ultimately you're a full factory team. You're here representing those brands, but you also want to have that tight-knit kind of family feel to it. How do you guys look at trying to make that a reality?
It's interesting how it's changed over the years, though, because when I started on the team, we had 6 of us, and now we're like 17, 18, sometimes more. So that's your challenge, right? Is getting the right people involved to make sure everyone still has that tight knit.
I think that the sport has changed. The game has been elevated. I think the elevation of the sport has brought a lot more consistency. I think that's what it's really brought, and where you have that consistent support, it creates more of a consistent result for the same people. It doesn't mean it can't be done without the team support, these 16, 17 group people, and that's like, some of these teams are 20 to 25 people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think you still can nail a good result without it, but to do it week in and week out without that support is becoming more and more difficult. And the balance between all the staff having to work together, it's a lot of personalities in one group, right? And everyone's got to have that same dedication and that same drive and same will to win and support to do it. And it's about selecting the right people that actually want to work. People have got to want it themselves, and not just the riders, right?
Do you do much away from the races with the group of people to try and so everyone gets to know each other and understand each other's personalities a bit, or are you kind of straight into the racing and making it work?
No, we do have some testing camps and stuff like that, but as the series is expanded, we're up to 10 races plus worlds plus whatever national champs and that. In the past we have done some fun outings. We tried to do an outing this year.
I tried to organise a team building trip to Auschwitz this year in Poland.
How did that go, Mono?
Yeah, I kind of fucked it up, didn't I? we got there and it was fully booked and we couldn't go. So we'd all arrived a day early to go.
A lot of that
it was all on me.
A lot of that stuff's happened organically, though, isn't it? Like I say, you spend so much time with each other away from home that you naturally get so close. And the amount of socials we've done and stuff, just sporadically, has been like I stayed at Gabe's house last summer. And we do all hang around quite a bit.
Sunday night, mate.
What's Sunday night?
The Medieval Festival.
Medieval Festival and finale that I didn't even know we were going to.
Neither did I.
Went to dinner and started walking into finale, and there was always court jesters and people dancing and drums and stuff, and thousands of people walking.
I had so much FOMO.
So none of us see this exactly. None of us knew this was actually happening.
You knew.
No, not until I arrived.
Oh, okay.
We knew we were going to a finale because obviously we flew into Nice. We wanted to knock a few hours off the drive because we wanted to be here by noon to start building. And Gens lives in Finale, so we're like, we'll go stay out there. We know someone has a cheap hotel. Our normal accommodation in Nice is not available right now. So we said, we'll get on the road. And literally, as we were essentially 24 hours or 12 hours before I'm getting on a plane, there's a medieval festival. I'm thinking it's going to be nothing, and it was probably one of the loosest things I've seen in a while.
It was so good. But building the pits on Monday with a hangover wasn't really that great, but I legit had a hangover. I don't know about you.
I was definitely not 100%.
Yeah.
How is the pit built, right? This is a big setup.
It's big now, yeah.
It's a mission.
It's like a full day written off, usually.
Or a physical
at
day
least,
as well.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Because it's like, we did just have this front section. Now we've got the section at the back as well, which we've had since 2018 or 19. But then we didn't use it for the preceding, the subsequent 5 years, 6 years. And then we've been using it this year, and it just adds another 2 or 3 hours onto the build. But I actually enjoy it. You enjoy it as well, don't you?
Yeah. Sometimes you're in the pissing rain after.
If it's in the
doing 5:60 nowadays.
Yeah, but there's something. Yeah. It's quite something nice.
It's like type 2 fun almost, isn't it? Building the pit. It's like a challenge, and
I don't know. Maybe it's not fun, but it's.
I also live here during the race week, so you want it to be as nice as possible.
It's just a large process. It's a large build process. I think it's not just throwing the structure up. That's the manual labor. It's the packing, the unpacking, and then it's making. We talked about the market. It's about having the presentation as well. It's the fans. It's to look in. It's to have visibility of the bikes and the the fans are here to see the bikes, and they're to see the athletes. They don't need to look at Mono and I. That's for sure.
Well, that's why we got those walls up now, mate, so they don't have to look at us. Yeah. But you could run a race team out of easy ups and sprinters for sure, and you probably still could. But I think a lot of it, again, it goes back to like it's a marketing exercise. We want to look good, and if you look around the pits and you see the standard of everyone else, if you want to be a good race team and one of the best, and you got to keep up with everyone and look as good as they do. Yeah. So yeah, it's a pride in putting this up and making it look good and making sure we do the best job we can at that, I guess.
You've done a good job. It looks mega. And you saying, Jim, this is your home for the week. Do all the mechanics stay on the truck?
No, 2 of us do.
Okay.
So me and Gen sleep in here, and we both kind of have like our own half of the truck, really. So it's quite nice.
That's cool.
Private entrance.
Is it kitted out for beds and stuff?
Yeah,
or is
yeah.
You're not roughing it?
No, I have like a nice little double bed in my... Yeah.
Sweet.
Shower, good kitchen area.
Yeah.
But I really like it. Like, as much as I love everybody else on the team, you kind of get the hour at the end and start of each day to like have a cup of tea and prepare for
Keep it quiet and calm for a bit.
Whatever may happen that day. So yeah, I really like staying in the in the
and
truck.
is that convenience, money saving, security? Like what drives that?
Convenience for me. Like
I think it's a bit of, I wouldn't say it's the money saving at the standard where the teams are at these days, but it is nice to logistically and convenience, especially with the bikes, right? You know, having someone on site, not having to cart bikes back to the accommodation, not having to do all of that. It's a big thing. It's a big deal. You know, some of the places, you know, you don't need tire marks on every doorway and every wall. So being able to leave a large amount of the stuff where it needs to be and have, you know, the big Albanian on site.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm definitely not the security department, that's for sure. But yeah, just from like a convenience point of view as well, like it's not uncommon for us to work until 11 o'clock at night. So just having that flexibility and not holding too many people back, we can just keep working until the job's done, really.
Roll straight into bed afterwards.
Quick shower and roll into bed,
Andorra was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I stayed in the truck for the first time in Andorra, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was good. Oh, it was lovely, yeah. It was so quiet up there in the evenings once everyone had gone.
It's a beautiful place, that pit, huh?
It was nice. Yeah. Just the fact it's on a bloody slope, that was...
But that's a classic example. If you didn't stay in the pit with all the bikes, that would be a logistical shit show, wouldn't it?
Disaster.
Yeah.
Are there pit highs and lows around the world? Like, where's a good place to have your pit? Where's a bad place to have your pit?
I would say here would be a good place to have your pit in terms of like being in the town with your fans and stuff, but I don't think you're going to have much sleep on Friday and Saturday night here.
Ludenville's my favourite.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just like quite calm and
down by the river.
Oldie worldy French town, and I like it.
Are there certain ones that are hard though? Like you maybe haven't got enough flat ground, or
Andorra, probably.
Poland.
Sweet. It's all the ones with all the thieving bastards coming in the tent, and you know, Lucas.
They know who they
are. The
are.
old mechanic. He had the little window on the side of the truck, and he'd prop it open and talk angry German words to the little thieving kids trying to steal the monster cans or the.
Really, you've had a bit of that, yeah.
It's rampant at certain venues. The security's not good.
Okay.
You know, it's mostly the ones that are in the towns where you can't sort of secure the pit. Or there's a large party. So like, you know, Leogang used to be a problem, but they've done a really good job at isolating it. It's like Fort Knox, so there's no problems there. But it's the ones like Ludenville where there's a mass exodus right through the pits. So people are enjoying themselves. They're having some beers and making poor judgment. And
get loose.
Again, in Léger, it gets pretty loose, and you're right in town. And again, I think they're probably just looking for another beer, something to drink.
It's normally just random shit that gets stolen.
Like not big things. It's just
I mean, they would get. Obviously, you put them away and stuff. You make sure that, but you'll come and there'll be the whole thing of Morton bars will be gone or something. Like, you know, you just like, where's all the Morton gone?
Well, those guys are having some nasty shits if they ate all those Mortons.
Is there anything you'd change about the pits? Like, if money was no object, what would you add? What would you take away?
Well, the thing is, there's always improvement, right? I think that if there's no object or no money here, you'd custom build yourself with the most primo industrial kitchen with the industrial fridges and all the induction plates,
media office, and inside air conditioned. Yeah, so don't forget that one.
So you would custom build yourself with that, right? It's there is always opportunity to improve it without a doubt.
Yeah.
As for all intents and purposes, we have a pretty darn good setup. We improve something, we add things every year. You know, we've sort of done some great stuff. Well, Mono's done some great stuff with the media this year with doing the kit shoots. We've given him a dedicated table in the back for him and Jackie Boy to sit at.
Lucky you.
So it's, you know, it gives the space because, you know, as we all joke, Mono has a lot of crap that he rolls around with, and now that he has his own table, it all stays in one spot. So it's really good, and it helps him do his. We do that in a tongue-in-cheek, joking way, but it's made, again, that the whole environment about positivity and giving him his own space to not have to spread out, right?
But everything we do, we just want to make it the best we can, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, money is an object, obviously,
for sure,
but you just want to push it. Every year you want to make improvements, and I think our setup's not the newest, but it's pretty good in it. Like it works quite well. So
it isn't the newest one, but I will say that if you took,
it's practical. It's very
practical, and the layout's pretty darn good.
Most important, I think, is to make it practical.
And I do think that if we were to take our layout of our trailer, and if there was a moderate budget to do stuff like that, we would do very small amounts of changes to it. I don't think we would, you know, some of these other trucks that are in the pits here that are probably cost a heck of a lot more than ours. I actually think that our layout is far better than what they have. I strongly believe.
Like our workshop, for example, is like, there's nothing you'd really change in there, is there?
No, you wouldn't touch
perfect.
the workshop.
You have a workshop in the back of the truck
We
somewhere.
do, yeah.
So that's like backup. It's not like you have everything you need for the day-to-day on your tool bench.
If you just want to do things like that are a little bit more clinical, like if you want to do any suspension work, or if you need a vice, for example, then we can head in there, and the lighting's really good in there as well. So if you're working late at night and you want to do something that's quite fiddly, you can go in there, and it's really great. And the storage is amazing as well. We obviously keep like the spare parts in there, and everything's really well organized, easy to access. Like if you need something, you can literally just run in there and grab it. You're not like going through plastic containers searching for things. Like it's very clearly labeled in a drawer, and it takes seconds to grab, really. So
with the way the sport's going as well, the workshop's super important, right? With prototyping, we've obviously been prototyping with the sender over the last couple of years, and you're always, you know, making adjustments and stuff and trying new things out. And I guess the workshop comes into its own a lot with that stuff, and it's only going to get more prevalent in the sport, I think, with that kind of thing. So
and sometimes you have engineers from Canyon on site as well, right? Like getting involved.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of visitors and through the year, and just helping gain the feedback exactly into some of this prototyping stuff that, you know, that we're talking about. And I think with the whole layout, simple is always good. You know, it's like you don't need this. You know, let's take for the chefs. The kitchen can be a very simple industrial kitchen with stainless steel countertops, simple fridges below, and basically induction plates plugged into a wall. That's a very efficient way to do it. You don't need this fancy, fancy setup. There's simple is good. And the workshop too. Great storage, great workbenches, great vices. Like it's simple and efficient, right? And storage is the biggest thing. Like, you know, with these back-to-back races that we're facing with the new schedule, it's like having to hit multiple venues. And this, of course, there is some time we can send vans to restock slightly, but I think that's a big part of it is.
Yeah. Whistler to Lake Placid's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
It's like 50-hour drive or something.
If you're lucky.
Who's doing that drive, Gabe?
You.
Me.
Do you drive the truck?
I'd love to do my license, but I don't know if I'd want to drive a racetrack. I'd like to do my license just to do it for fun.
It would be cool to drive
just
one.
to have.
Yeah.
But I know if I had one, I don't know, maybe I'd end up driving it. Maybe Gabe wouldn't trust me. Depends how good my driving was. I could drive a trailer, but I don't know if I could drive a truck.
Who does drive it, Gabe?
We have a guy, Roberto. He's our driver. He's been with us for 2 years now.
Okay.
He's an Italian guy that lives down in San Remo, and his wife's actually also involved with the team, and she's Anna.
Sweet.
And she's our chef.
Oh,
isn't he the Italian rally champion or something as well?
Yeah,
rally
there is a story.
champion or something. So
what is that story on
something like that? Yeah, like retro vintage rally champion or something.
Amazing.
So we've had a few rally drivers as trucks. Christian was a rally driver, wasn't he? Or he had
I think he just used to slice cars together
from the pub.
Yeah.
So if anyone can get you from Whistler to Lake Placid, it's him, right?
Yeah, I think that the interesting thing is in North America, not as many teams have the infrastructure in place. So so it's going to be an interesting one. We've just released the schedule. We won't shoot ourselves yet. They're going to probably adjust the days we're going to race on. We're going to cross our fingers. It is a big pull to go across country like this. It's crazy, but the long-term direction of where Warner Brothers is taking us here with the added venues in multiple continents. Like we're going to Korea. It's going to be insane.
That's super cool.
And, I know their long-term goal is to, from my understanding, is we're going to have more than 2 races in North America. There's going to be East and West. We'll see how they divide the schedule in the future. But the downhill racing and gravity racing is on a massive revival in North America again. It's back to what it was 15 years ago. When Grouse Mountain was there, the whole track was 5 to 10 people deep, the entire track. Granted, it was a bit of a shorter track, but it's when, we've seen what Crankworx has done. And it's going to be insane. Like, just seeing this year with the rain there, the amount of people pouring out of the woods. We've seen hecklers rock in this. Just the feedback. Don't even go where you're going to go, by the way.
No, I was going to say, you got to give WBD some credit on this front because they get a lot of flack for some things, which maybe some of it is fair. Like I myself personally would love to see a bit more of a subscription service just for cycling, which maybe would be a bit cheaper, which could bring the core back in. I've always believed that. It's not their vision, but I think they really do deserve credit on the racing front and what they're doing with the venues. It's kind of like what we've always been wanting: more rounds, more of a World Series.
And having a race in Whistler is it's the mecca of
we've been asking for that since I was on the race scene. That's nearly 20 years, and it's never happened. And they've managed to pull it together, which is. I'd say the racing is better than it's ever has been. So on that front, I think they do deserve a lot of credit.
And you know what? Change is complicated, right? They can plan as much as they want. They can forecast and predict where things are going to go. We know that. But there's always going to be things that you can plan and think as much as possible. We know that about the thinking and planning we do within the team. Mm-hmm. But you're never going to nail it all. You're never going to nail it all. And for the most part, every change, I think the majority of the changes they've made have been super, super positive. I also think that, the growth of with the racing the secondary racing that's popping up in North America especially is pretty rad to see as well. Like there's the Pro Downhill Series stuff that Clay's doing is great. I think that the downhill, the revival's coming here. Yeah. It never went away. But there's going to be multi-tiers. I think the sports in that side of things is in a pretty good spot.
That's good. There's a lot to be happy about, and we'll use that to wrap up. What is your favourite part of a race week, Jim? We'll start with you, and we'll get all your thoughts. What's the bit you really look forward to, and why?
That's quite a big question. Off the top of my head, I think we touched on it again earlier, but kind of just the environment of racing is so addictive. And just having that pressure that we were speaking about before and leaning into that and really going along with that throughout the process of the race week is what I really love and what keeps me coming back, I think. Because you never know what's around the corner, from minute to minute, you don't know what's next. So for me, just that thrill of racing and putting everything into it and having the pride in the work you're putting out and the people you're working with, it is really cool to me.
I love it. That's awesome. Mono?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't it? Because it depends how the race goes as well.
You had just had time to think about that question too.
I know, I was thinking about it. Seat. I know, yeah, you were first up. I was impressed with your answer though. For me, obviously, if we have a good race, it's, race day after, you can't beat that. If you get a good result, or if a number of riders get a good result and you have a good vibe in the pits. We had a really good party this year, especially in Leogang, which was felt like a bit out of the blue, but it was pretty crazy. Ken Roxon was here. We had smoke going off. It was pretty sick. We had 80s music going off. Yeah, it was good. But I think like just in the evenings as well. If we get a couple of hours in the evening to hang out and have a drink together, that can be really good. And we also socialize with some of the other teams and stuff, like with the Athertons. They're quite often Bernie's team Pivot. We kind of get together, the UK sort of contingent, get together for some drinks and stuff, which is always good.
Nice.
Yeah,
what about you, Gabe?
I think what defines a good or successful weekend or exciting part of the weekend is that Mono touched on it, great results. And then the biggest thing is everyone gets down safely. We're not dealing with injuries and everyone's safe. That's a big part of leading a program, is that you want everyone to stay healthy and the well-being of everyone involved. And obviously to nail the goals of a successful weekend on the track, right? And if you can nail both of those, that's what,
that's a good weekend.
That's a good weekend. And it lets all the staff and riders leave with a good feeling inside that they've put in the effort and the hard work. And that everyone's going feeling rewarded with whatever that is for them personally. Everyone will go home, whether it be staff or athletes, feeling rewarded. And I leave going, everyone is going away happy. No one's hurt. And we've checked, hopefully, going back to how we started here, we're selling, win on Sunday, sell on Monday, hopefully that's the goal.
What about you, Chris?
Favorite part of a race week? I think the finish bowl atmosphere on race day is unbeaten.
Especially
here. Like I have a vivid memory of the world champs here being in the media pen at the bottom when the finish bowl got stormed, and Loic was on the podium and the police were wading in and there was flares going off. Like, I don't know if I'll ever live a moment like that again. Like, it was incredible. And this place has a special place in my heart. So yeah, finish bowl atmosphere on a good race day is hard to beat.
It'll be interesting to see if Whistler can. Been a lot of hype about Whistler over the years. Can it beat Leger on a World Cup race weekend?
I think I don't know if it will beat the loose French fans, because there's
Heckler's Rock, mate.
Yeah, but that's different.
And we have a new Heckler's Rock on 11.99. Kiefer didn't even know what Heckler's Rock was when I said to him.
He's too young.
He's too young.
But hey, let's talk about how cooked the young kids are.
Yeah.
Aletha didn't know who Rat Boy was.
Who?
No way.
Aletha didn't know who Josh Bryson was.
Yeah, but you
You should have pulled her off on that earlier.
I know. Yeah.
There's a lot of these young guys that need to watch some Earth movies and some
education.
I actually brought all my old DVDs to the truck, and there's a PlayStation or an Xbox, whatever's in the truck, and we were making Kaya Hearn and the kids watch the videos. It's a history lesson.
Compulsory education for every mountain bike racer, for sure.
It's like School of Rock, but Gabe is Jack Black and there's no music. It's
So, but you know what? With what you said about the finish line atmosphere, and we'll touch on about we talked about Warner Brothers and what they've done. How bloody exciting is it with the Q2?
Yeah,
and about how that touches on one of the great improvements here. We can debate about the numbers in the final. We can debate about this. We can debate about that. But regardless of whatever you say, I believe, in my opinion, that the format they've gone to go to that system of having that Q2, it's definitely a massive win and a home run for the sport in general.
Yeah,
that's my
super exciting. I'm glad I'm not a rider in it, but yeah, for everyone watching, it's brilliant.
Twice as much work for us on qualifying day too.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Nathan loves a. Hang on, no, who is it who loves a Q2? Nathan. No.
Yeah, he's the Q2 bandit.
He's the Q2 bandit, isn't he? Yeah, Nathan loves it.
He tried to call Jim that.
Yeah, I know. The cheek.
Amazing. Well, thank you for letting us inside.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Great to get behind the scenes a little bit and find out more about what makes this team tick. Hope everyone has a good week, and stay healthy, and thanks for your time.
Thanks for having us,
mate. Ciao.